Today I'm gonna go over some stuff with Kano's abilities and his second variation and why, I don't know, something needs to be done about this whole thing. I should preface this by saying I don't think, I don't agree with abilities being, like every ability being tournament legal. I think there should be more variations and that the variations should have more synergy. And if they go that route, if NRS chooses to go that route, they've sort of painted themselves in a corner because some of these moves, I don't know, they synergize in such a weird way and it just doesn't work out. But anyways, so this is the dirtbag variation, the second variation which you never see. It has everything the same, except it doesn't have a command grab, doesn't have a parry, and you can't get a full combo from this. So you have no way to get like a full combo. That one launches, but it doesn't really launch. So like the most damaging way for you to do anything would be 2-2 ball. That is, I don't know. This would probably be the most damaging combo. 169. This variation is so terrible. So he has no combo potential, but he has the Vegemite buff, right? Which makes his Kano Ball stronger. Like this is 100 damage, this one is 80 damage. So for the buff on, you get 90 damage and 120 damage. So you get 2 more percent. This is for using a buff that is 18 startup frames. It lasts for quite some time, but it doesn't last the match out. It will run out. And yeah, there's no real way to set it up, and even if you do, it's such a slight damage increase, there's really no use for it. I don't understand why it isn't like you activate it and then you can use it for set amount of Kano Balls, 3 Kano Balls, 5 Kano Balls. Or you set it up and it works like the buff in MKX, which is timed, meaning during that time you will get the buff constantly. Say it's up for 10 seconds, then for 10 seconds every Kano Ball you do is amplified. It's not amplified in the sense that I meter burn it, it's just better. You also get the up Kano Ball. What the? Why am I not getting the Kano Ball out? There we go. Which is armored. I don't know. I guess it's something. I mean, it's fast. It's 9 frames. Why is it so hard to get? Well, it's 9 frames. That's also an interesting thing. If you do regular Kano Ball, its startup frames is 10. If you do it with this on, it's 9. It's never gonna help you in a real match, but it's interesting, I guess. Back to the up ball. Like, I just don't see like the real application for it. He has decent down too. There's just no reason why it should be like that. It doesn't change anything else. Like, he still has this weird animation when it does this. He gets slightly more damage, but it's nothing to write home about. So, I don't know. I don't get it. Then you have the Molotov Cocktail. And me, I love me a good setup character, right? Look at that. Look at all that damage she's getting. Well, it's not that much, but it's like 10% in total if she stays in it. That would be so cool. But Molotov Cocktail is 40 startup frames. 40 startup frames. Meaning you'll never ever get it out. Ever. Look, I can't jump for so long. Even if I get a forward 2, mind you, this variation can't launch. So the only way you'll get a forward 2 is by doing it raw, which is unsafe. But say I get this, and I chuck it out. Sonya will punish me so hard. Or at least she'll get in on me. But I mean, she can actually Is this the one? Just straight up punish me if she reaches. A lot of characters will reach. Those with a good up to will reach as well. Hers goes a bit back, so I don't think it will reach me. But like, even so, she can just get up and punish me. I can't guarantee in no way that she'll stand here after I've used my unsafe move to try to set this up. When would you get this set up in neutral? Like when? Anyways, enough about the Molotov cocktail. The interesting thing is that this synergizes with the chemical burn, right? So if I do this, that it's unblockable, which is so cool, because like, maybe she's doing something. I throw out, I shouldn't put you on auto. I throw out this, and I go in. Oh god, it just has such bad reach. Say I do this, oops, and I get that. You'd think that's unblockable, but it's not. She can block it. So it's only the damage that is unblockable, but it has to be unhit. So it's not even like the case with Johnny Cage where he can charge up his fists and it becomes an unblockable. No. Even after all this setup, this isn't in any way guaranteed. So, say she's not blocking. I can get that. I get some DOT, which is cool. So like if I do a punish... No, wait, that doesn't work. No, wait, that's too far away. That works. So my meterless punish goes to what? 12% something? I can do this, which looks so cool, but I get 16% out of it for a bar, which starts with a high because he can't combo from his others. So yeah, this variation is interesting. Like, chemical burn would be a lot more interesting if it actually had a bigger hitbox and if it was safe on block. So then you could do something like this and you would be safe on block. Like from here, I'm safe-ish, but she could also go in and punish me because the recovery is not great. 32 frames. So say I go for the 2-4, because that one actually combos on hit. So I go for the 2-4 and I do that. Minus 18. I mean, sure, you could go for this. Sorry, I mean that, and it's safe. It's flawless blockable, but it's safe. But why on earth would I do that? Like, if they made this safe with a bigger hitbox, that would be interesting. So you could use it from at least some strings. But as it stands right now, it's just useless. So yeah. This is the second tournament variation. Let's look at some other that are actually fun. Look at this one. I haven't... The thing is with Kano's abilities is that they don't synergize very well. I mentioned it. This one I find interesting because in this one he doesn't have the knife toss. He has this really cool eye blast instead. Right? It's kind of slow on the startup. God, there we go. 23 frames, but it's a mid. Like, you could really challenge people with this. You get 17 hit advantage, so they kind of have to like expect to hold another one. From far away, it's like minus 2, 3 on block from here. Close up, you'll be punished, but like, it's... I don't know, it would add such a nice mind game for him to have this projectile in some variation. I'm not sure what to combine it with, because again, this one, it keeps him from using his biomagnetic trap and his biomagnetic pole. So, I don't understand, which would be, at least the biomagnetic trap would be, and the pole as well, they would be interesting together with this, but he can't use them. So, I mean, I guess he could do something like this. You have 3 hit advantage, go for a throw, I don't know. Um, I don't know. I want the eye laser in some variation. I'm not sure what it would be combined with, considering it doesn't have like any clear synergy. This one is interesting. Interesting, but also kind of bad. So he gets this move, the biomagnetic pole, which is unsafe, but has huge range. Like from here, I'll get it pulled in. And if I do that, it's like a full combo. I think I can even do that. And that is not bad. That is not bad at all. Like, getting a full combo is kind of a big deal. Oops. You get the idea. So, in this one, you could actually hit confirm stuff into this and get 215 for a hit confirm. A bit less if you go for the 1-1, but you get the idea. What makes this really interesting is that it actually combines with the knives. So if I do this, that actually is a full combo. You can 2-in-1 cancel the knives into the pull. The thing is, it costs a bar. And I don't agree with it. Because you're +1. If I was +5, I would be okay with it, because then you could do something like this and go for a throw and have a strike throw mix up or whatever. But since it costs a bar, if I want to get the full combo, I'm usually better off just doing this. Oops. I get 215, right? Which is okay. If I do this, oops. It's also a really weird timing, which I'm not used to since this is not tournament legal. Ugh. I dropped the ender, I'm so sorry. 261, so I get like 5% more. Which is cool, but I used both bars. And that is just too much for that type of damage. You gotta remember that in his Ripper variation, with the 2-1, 1+3 starter, he gets over 30%, or he gets around 30% for a combo, which is 1 bar. So why would I use a variation which requires me to use 2 bars to get a combo that is less damage? And it also, I don't know, it's just weird to me why this would cost a bar. If it didn't, or if this was a lot more plus, then I guess it would be interesting, especially if it didn't cost a bar, because then you could play this mind game from like here, throwing a knife and going into that. So, I don't know. It would be a lot more interesting if it didn't cost a bar. But as it stands now, if this would become like a variation, it wouldn't really work out very well. I'm not sure what it could combine with, because again, his synergies are weird. But it would be so interesting to use this as a sort of hit confirm into something. At least if it's gonna cost a bar, I want guaranteed pressure. Like if I throw a knife, I want my pressure here to be guaranteed. I said like +5. Maybe it should be like +8, 9, so I can jail a standing 2. Because otherwise I don't really see the point. That would at least invite for a strike throw mix up, and since he has crushing blows off of both his throws, that would be interesting, but as it stands now, it's just not worth it. But maybe that's something that fix if they actually put it in the game, right? So then we have the one I call Knives Are Fun. Because knives are fun. Kids, listen to me. Knives are fun. And it has the biomagnetic trap. Cool, right? Looks really good. It prevents them from jumping. What it doesn't say is that if they have a knife in them, you can see the knife gets sort of pulled. Then it causes DOT. It isn't huge damage, but it causes DOT. So this combined with this move, Snake Bite, is really interesting because that one always puts 2 knives in them. So if I do this, what's the combo I used? Is it? Right. Now I remember the combo. Sorry. Oops, I ended it the wrong way. Just a second. There we go. If I do that, you can see they're right in the DOT. That's kind of cool. And they can't jump. I mean, that's kind of cool. That makes for interesting setups, right? The thing is, it's not very fast. So if she wants to do like a wake up, I don't have time to block, but her wake-ups aren't the best. So if I had used like Baraka or Shao Kahn or someone with a good up 3, they would punish me. They can also roll out of it and so on and so forth. But it's kind of an interesting synergy, this with the knives. I think I would like to explore that more, but it isn't possible since this one doesn't really exist now. And the startup is kind of bad at 23 frames. Maybe shave a few frames off it, make it 20, 18, something. And this variation with the snake bite could become really interesting. I'll show you one last loadout I have. And it's called Ripper, but it's not Ripper. Which would be sort of another weird thing where they've added synergy in just a weird way. So in this one I have the I think it's Manhandle, that ability, and Snakebite. So what this adds is that you can cancel that one, the forward 4, into Snakebite. But again, this costs a bar, which makes it kind of annoying. Because this would be like the great 50-50 variation if it didn't cost a bar. Because that would mean you have a safe overhead, which is slow, but you have a safe overhead, which goes into this. Oops. Let's see if I can get this. Ah. You get 300 damage, 311, so 31% from a safe overhead. And you end up... Snakebite really gives like a lot of good Oki. So from here you can see I will hit with everything. Down 1, down 3, my throws. I can go for a standing 1. I can do anything I want. So I can bait the wake up. I can try to read a roll. So Snakebite is like the best Oki he has. It's a lot better than his command grab. It's a lot better than Kano Ball. It's the best Oki he has in any variation. So the problem is, why would I spend 2 bars for 30%, right? So if that didn't cost a bar, because if I don't want to use the 2 bars, I'll use this one, which is the same damage, puts them further away, sure, but doesn't cost a bar. So that way he would have the slow but safe overhead, and the fast but unsafe low, which also goes into a full combo now. Wait, that doesn't work. Oh, I hate some hitbox inconsistencies. There we go. Ah, I was too fast, sorry. Oh, I was too fast again. So then you would have a damage variation. You see, I get the same damage from the low and from the overhead. So you would have 1 bar, 30% damage every time into good Oki. That would make him really interesting because it would make him like a rushdown god, where you want to be all up in their face, make them guess, and then every time they screw up, you get a big punish. Ah. Oh well. You get a big punish, whatever, I can't deal with it anymore. and you have the 50-50 game that they have to respect. And that would make it really interesting. But the weird thing about this is to be able to use the forward 4 into the snake bite, I have to equip the manhandle thingy, which gives you the fig jam combo. Meaning, sorry, this one, which already launches. So I mean, I can go into this for even more damage. I drop the ender. I drop the ender again. You get the idea. I haven't practiced these combos, okay? But like, why would I like, if it doesn't work with the forward 4 overhead into a 0-bar conversion, then why wouldn't I do like every punish into just this, which you get 25%, which is probably about the same you'd get from this. Yeah, here you get a bit more, sure. But like, there's no synergy. Well, I get the side switch, I guess, and I can go for max damage, but there's just no, like, the difference isn't big enough to motivate it. But like, this would be such an interesting variation if this cancelled into that, and you get the snake bite overall. What I would like, if I can dream big, this is me dreaming big, is that this was tied to the snake bite and not to the manhandled ability. So snake bite costs 2 ability slots, so you do this into that, and you wouldn't have to have the manhandle. Then you'd have like 1 open spot for whatever. I would like it to be the parry, but if we're not going to have abilities that overlap from other variations, maybe the optic blast would be kind of cool. So he'd have like the slow zoning with the optic blast, and then he'd be the rushdown god. I would really like that. I don't think it would be like pushing Kano up the tiers, but it would make him sort of have a purpose. Then it would have like the trap variation, the command grab variation, and the sort of pure rushdown god variation, which every time he gets wrong, you eat 30% into this Oki. Good morning, have a grab. Good morning, have a low, into the same situation. Like, that would be so cool to have. So that's my sort of variation ability wish list for Kano. I'm sorry this video is long, I didn't really prepare it, but yeah, so I would really like to see some of this be tournament legal. I would like NRS to release more variations. Now they're releasing combat packs, so it probably won't happen for a while. But yeah, I would really like to see like Snakebite find its way, and the other abilities as well, or at least fix the second variation, please. Anyways, thanks for watching this long ass video of me ranting. Take care. Bye.